And we're getting further details of the phone call between President Biden and China's President Xi. Let's go back to Washington and our correspondent Mark Stone. And Mark, we were talking a few moments ago and you were saying it was a long call. We didn't know the detail. What have they been talking about?
It was 2 hours, 17 minutes, even taking into account the time for translation, simultaneous translation, I would imagine, because neither of the leaders speaks the other's language. It was a long call. We now have a readout, as they're known, from the Chinese side. We're waiting to hear the American perspective on how the call went. But the subtext of what the Chinese readout says is that this was not an easy call, I don't think. It is a long statement from the Chinese. I'll pull a few bits of it out for you. It says here that Xi Jinping stressed that looking at and defining Sino-US relations from the perspective of strategic competition and treating China as the most important opponent and the most serious long-term challenge is a misjudgment of Sino-US relations and a misrepresentation of China's development, which will mislead the two peoples and the international community. The Americans under Biden have always stressed competition with China. Well, the Chinese are saying that is not helpful. Specifically on the issue of tariffs, Xi Jinping told President Biden that decoupling and breaking the chain against the law will not help boost the US economy, but also make the world economy more vulnerable. And then the key issue, Taiwan. The two discussed this in what appears to be some detail. Xi Jinping, and I'm quoting here, focused on China's principled position on the Taiwan issue. We firmly oppose the cessation of Chinese independence and intervention of external forces, i.e. the West, and will never leave any space for any form of Taiwanese independence. It goes on to say public opinion, that's Chinese public opinion, which Xi Jinping claims is firmly of the view that Taiwan is part of China. Public opinion should not be violated, and playing with fire will burn itself. I hope the United States can see this clearly. So a very clear attempt to show the US to butt out of what the Chinese believe is a wholly Chinese issue. And it's worth stressing that Xi Jinping has been more forceful than any of his predecessors in making quite clear that one day, sooner or later, the Chinese will take Taiwan by force if need be. He's been explicit about that. The reason that Taiwan is an issue now is because the House Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, has said that she will travel to Taiwan in the coming weeks. We don't yet know that that trip has been confirmed, but the presence of the third in line to the throne, so to speak, after the president and the vice president, Nancy Pelosi is the most important person in the United States. The presence of her in Taiwan has deeply angered the Chinese. They said she should not go. The US military has said that it probably wouldn't be sensible for her to go. So I think watch the Taiwan issue over the next few weeks. The Chinese have certainly been watching how the West has responded to Russia's attempt to take Ukraine. They are looking at Taiwan. And as I say, Xi Jinping has made clear sooner or later it's his, he says, and he will take it back.